Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome back to our Let's Talk About Your Health. But this time, we're going to talk about your mental health.
Which is very important, just like physical.
Yes, you go to the doctor if you have a cold, you go to the doctor if you've got pain, you go to the doctor if you are having mental health concerns. So, we have a special guest with us today. We have a psychologist that is going to be joining us. She's actually taking some time out of her busy schedule to actually share with you the information, answer some questions, all of the above. So if you have questions, start sending those in. If there are concerns and you don't want to talk about it over this podcast, just message us and then we can kind of make sure you get any of the help that you actually need.
Because even though she's in Tahiti and we're very jealous, we can still make sure she gets the questions and she would definitely answer them for you.
See, I wasn't gonna tell her business.
I'm just a little jealous. That's all.
Okay, are we able to bring her in now? Hello, look at her, all sun-kissed and glowing.
Hey guys. Hey, I'm not gonna show the view that I have. I'm not gonna do that part. I'm just gonna.
No, I want to see because I want to live vicariously through you. So,
I'll send
because
you some
sun
pictures.
actually does affect your mental health.
It does. Like this is travel is very important to me for that very reason. It's like a reset, kind of a balancing of all the parts. So, and I need the water. The water is one of my soothing places.
Yes, it's peaceful and tranquil.
Hmm.
I need to read your bio. Do I have? Because I want to give you a proper introduction. So,
Oh, thank you.
how's the weather there?
And I'm not good at it. It's like 85 humid. It's a little
Oh,
humid, but really nice breeze off the ocean. Um,
okay.
it's nice. I should have just said
Yeah,
it's nice.
today
It's
I think
okay.
here it's like 40, but tomorrow it's supposed to be 70. So
I heard it's supposed to even be in the 60s, maybe or close
I think
to it
it's
tomorrow.
69. I saw
now,
one not today,
oh, tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yep.
So let me introduce Dr. Chris Snyder. She has a broad spectrum of clients with diverse populations. She definitely recognizes that all humans are social and relational beings and always in pursuit of the best version of themselves. And she can help you be the best version of yourself. She specializes in individual and couples with a focus on sexual health and alternative lifestyle counseling and creating a healthy relationship patterns and behaviors. She is the founder of Mind Empowered Counseling, and that's she's got multiple locations. So she's in Chicago, Tinley, Phoenix, so, because we get people from other states that actually listen to our podcast. So, we definitely want to make sure if you need or seek any type of mental health or you have some concerns, definitely contact her. Um,
Yes.
so, Chris, I am gonna kind of turn the floor over to you. Like I said, we all know it is important for us to make sure we are taking care of our
Yeah.
mental health. And so I am thankful and glad. We're definitely thankful that you actually came on today
Yes,
to kind
thank
of talk
you.
about that with our families.
Yes.
So I'm gonna turn the floor over to you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. We really appreciate being here, and I look for any platform that I can talk about mental health, especially in the Black and Brown community. So this works for me. I don't care where I am. I am here for it. And I think what you said in your intro, that idea of we go to the doctor, we got a stomach ache, if I feel like we can't see something, we see the eye doctor. Like if our brain isn't okay, I think we should also add in a mental health support. It's not hard, it's not, embarrassing. It shouldn't have the stigma that it has with it, but yet here we are still fighting to normalize mental health and trying to say you're not crazy if you get support, or you're not like that crazy uncle you had, if you talk to somebody. So I just think it's good to be here, and it's good to just say, something. I want somebody to talk to every couple weeks, every week, once a month. Like I just need a person. I got a person. I talk to her every 2 weeks. And I look forward to my time. So it's a good time to just feel like I have an hour that's dedicated to me and only me, and it's just good. So we should have it. And here we are.
What would be your advice? Especially in our community, it has been a stigma for so long to actually go and seek help and counseling for your mental well-being. Um, it has, I mean, and I think because it has become normalized among um, stars and athletes, that people are more willing now to, seek help when they need it. But what advice would you give to people to just try to break that stigma? Yeah,
Yeah. So
of being able to go and seek that help.
yeah, I mean, and I think that's happening. So one, it's a few things. One, millennials or the new generation, whatever they letters are, they screaming about mental health. I will give it to them. They are breaking the mold on talking about emotions, support, you name it. These younger ones, they are here for it. And I'm like, y'all keep screaming, please keep talking. And I like when celebrities talk, because it is what it is. We live in a world where we have always followed celebrity news and what they doing and looking at the pictures. And so when they start talking mental health, I'm like, keep talking. Everybody talk. Everybody talk. That's who we listening to, because we don't listen to each other. Like, it's hard for regular me to say, I think you should go to therapy. Nope, nothing is wrong with you. I just think you should have a support person. It is for some reason a little difficult for a regular person to say it. It has to kind of be like this grand stage event for it to happen, or we got to watch like Kanye break down and go through all he's going through for us to get it, or other people who've committed suicide, when we like, oh dad, I didn't even know they were struggling. However, I will say, because 99% of our population is Black and brown, I will say the trend is moving. We have, I think, we went from not going at all to now we go a little quietly. Is kind of what I see, like, because we have over 200 clients. So, and it's a big number. And considering how many therapy practices there are in Chicago, that's a lot of Black and brown people in therapy. Um, so, and we've helped probably over 600 people in the last like 2.5 years, 3 years. So I think we're coming. I'm beginning to watch a trend change, and especially with millennials and this Gen Z, I think that's what they called. They're talking about it is really helping. And they're then making, what I'm noticing is even our elderly population is increasing, because these younger people are like, Granny, why you don't talk to somebody about that? Like, it's okay. Like, I'm watching those numbers slowly come up. So it's shifting. It's small, but a small win is a win. So I'm gonna take it.
And you said you've seen an increase over the last 2.5 to 3 years. And is that because of COVID, you think?
Oh, COVID. I try to find a really nice way to say this, and I don't know how. COVID was good for business. It was really sad for me every day to watch how business was booming, with the amount of anxiety and depression and lack of connection, and just not knowing what to do. Even we're talking basic things like losing jobs, and we had that level of stress, and people who had therapy as a support, but then they no longer had that support because the company either downshifted or closed altogether because of the numbers. So in so many different ways, um, COVID, COVID did something. It created a weird adjustment. And it's weird because I listen to everybody talking about this the megaverse. And it's like digital world that there's an attempt to move us in. But in my office, people don't like it. So I'm kind of confused. Like, again, there is going to be a group of people that will love this level of distance and separation from peopling. But also, we need connection. We need touch. We need, especially in Black and brown communities, we live off of the family dinner and playing cards all night till the sun come up and looking for a holiday to get together because somebody didn't cook something and all the cousins are going over there to hang out. We are still a community of connection and family. So, you know, it's COVID. COVID was bad. COVID was really bad.
And you said you see more, like, do you have a certain age group where you see most of your patients? You mentioned millennials. And then
so we're hovering.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say age right now is somewhere between 28 and average age is probably like 55, but I'm noticing the 65 to 80s is slowly creeping in a little bit more. Yeah.
What would you tell parents? Because I do know during these last couple of years there has been an increase in suicide among young people. And so what type of things, because how we grew up is very different than how they're growing up. What type of things would you tell parents or friends to watch for? Because they do say, I had no idea anything was even going on. So what are some of the signs that maybe we're not open and aware of what's going on? What would you tell people to look for?
Yeah, so it depends on the age. What is interesting is the suicide rates actually have not changed for almost all age groups. Those numbers are consistent. So kids as young as like 6 who killed themselves, it happens, and that's normally about a mimicking behavior or they saw something, and that's kind of how that goes. So it's nothing there we can necessarily look for. When we start talking kids under 9, normally is mimicking or they're just quiet. Normally they're quiet, and then that kid has saw something and found a way to hurt himself. But when we started going a little bit older, like 9, like 13, here, I mean, we're looking for like bullying, these sleep habits, some of the traditional things fairly that we go through, not hanging with friends, just a little more distant, talking about things that are different, like, you know, what if we weren't here anymore, or, you know, what if this world was different, and like all the people went away, like interesting comments like that we began to look for. But again, these kids also actually say it more. They are a lot, even more. And then when we add in like LGBTQIA plus issues that are really kind of bringing out like this need to understand self, whether we're mimicking other behaviors, we're trying something out because it sounds cool and or actually talk about. I think what happens is we just miss a very clear, like they're saying it almost clearly, and we just don't want to hear it. It's really more for how can us adults take the time to listen to, because they're talking about it. Like most kids say something very directly. We just gotta take a few extra minutes and hear it. Like they'll say, I'm sad. Like, I don't like schools. They're mean there. And then sometimes parents go, oh, it's okay. You know, kids being kids. No, wait a minute. They just said, I'm sad. And the kids are mean. Like, how mean? What's happening? What you mean you sad? How sad? We just got to ask the questions first, because in our day, I literally was laughing with my mom, and she said it. We was talking about something. She like, remember that day when you died, and I told you shake it off. I'm like, I do. Yes, I remember.
I told you we grew up differently.
like you weren't supposed to tell me that. You weren't supposed to. These kids ain't shaking it off like we did it. We like, oh yeah,
Right.
they don't shake it off like at all. Like they not okay. So we just can't say those things. We can't go shake it off no more. Like we literally got to go. What you mean you say it? What kind of sad? You're a lot of sad, a little sad, scale of 1 to 10 sad. What number you at sad? We just gotta ask now. It's just different. Yeah.
When do you get to a point where you've done counseling and you think someone may need medication?
Yeah, so I look for state versus kind of a trait type of scenario. The brain misfires. It does that. And let's take depression. Depression is really interesting in that when you are depressed, now we're releasing dopamine and serotonin. If we don't have the proper coping skills to kind of reuptake it and bring it back in, well, the brain is going to go, oh, send out more. So even if nothing else actually happened, if we didn't add another stressor, if we didn't increase the problem, brain went, well, we're releasing it now, keep going. And you look up and you like, why am I crying over the commercial? Because the brain is misfiring. And if there is a constant state of misfiring and we just don't have enough coping and the brain is doing this thing, I will immediately say, you know something, I think I need some help. I think it's time to kind of give our brain an aspirin, because same way we give our brain an aspirin for headache, it's time to get us a little something happening here to kind of even us out so that we can get back to work, because I need the brain to kind of mellow it out. I need to mellow you out some. And I have a few clients. We would go natural and try and like St. John's and do some of the natural stuff. And then we've added some herbal stuff. And then we'll change to like making sure we got enough B12 and enough vitamins happening. We'll up the ante. Okay, we did these. Okay, let's add in, make sure we meditate. Okay, what's our sleep cycle? Okay, we'll up it. I'll up it. And medication is not bad. I think, again, we take aspirin for headache.
Right.
I took a baby aspirin for 2 days before I hopped on the plane to make sure my body, was ready and didn't want to possibly clot or anything. So we do all of these preventive things that we don't even realize. We do smoothies and add in extra kale and, we do so many things. Like, I think if we take the stigma away and take away like, oh, again, you crazy, because, you got some Zoloft. I think if we take that off the table and go, I need help and I want to feel good, I want to be well. It doesn't mean you're not responsible for coping. It doesn't mean you don't have a responsibility to be accountable, or you can't go, well, that's my bipolar acting up. That's not how that works. It's no path. It's just the brain needs help, and that's okay. It's okay. We do it all the time in a million ways for a million things. This is no different. It doesn't have to be any different.
You mentioned you would start off with some natural things. You mentioned like St. John's. Like, what are some things, like what you start off with the natural, then you add other things. Can you just go through that with us?
Yeah, and it depends on the clients. Like, I've added from acupuncture to massage therapy to any type of, to yoga, to just a normal exercise regimen, to literally we'll spend weeks on sleep. Like, I'll throw you in the sleep study if I have to. Like, I want to know everything that's happening. I want you to go see OB-GYN. I want to make sure like your numbers are good. Are we in menopause? Is that a piece of this? Can we get some numbers happening? Like, I want to, any possible thing. I don't believe I have all the answers. I do believe our body is a very complex system that requires a mind, body, spirit completion. And so I'm going to attempt to use every possible piece of the equation. Sometimes I jump right to, we need some Medicaid. We need to immediately, I need something re-up to, I need an inhibitor. I need something to jump in here right now. And that happens. Sometimes we skip a whole bunch of steps. But I think I wouldn't do my job effectively if I didn't believe in the power of all of these different types of holistic and wellness measures that create wholeness. Like part of my wholeness is right here in Tahiti. I budget. My accounting is part of my wellness and making sure I can budget travel. He is in my wellness plan. So yeah, we use all the pieces. I use any and everything, and it really depends on the presentation. Presentation matters on what we can do, and sometimes income. I wish insurance respected mental health and just wellness, not even just mental health, but wellness, to allow more services to be available for us to like access and get paid for without complications and authorizations and
Right.
good paperwork writing that allows for something to be covered. But it really depends on the person and how we escalate. But I'll still use some of everything.
So I'll tell you something that I just found out today, and I was never aware of this. There are a lot of insurances that will actually pay for massages. Not just chiropractor, they will actually pay. A lot of people don't know they have that coverage. So I
Is
actually
it
had a
just
client.
starting though with this whole corporate
No.
wellness?
It's been for a while.
Really?
I don't think people have really kind of, because most people don't understand their insurance. They haven't looked through to see all the benefits that they may get.
Oh yeah.
But especially now, they do have a lot of the insurances will have where you could get massages anywhere from 8. One of my patients today could get 28 massages a year.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So,
You can go anywhere.
I don't know.
See,
But
it makes me wonder,
I
like,
was shocked
what
that I
hoops
didn't know that was even an option. So,
but I'm wondering, like what hoops the
What'd you say,
massage
Chris?
therapist has to go to be in network. Like I'm wondering, like what hoops the massage therapist has to go through to be in network,
Right.
to get approved, to get the
Right.
massages.
So
That's
I
what
don't know, but that was
curious.
an interesting thing that I discovered today. And the ones where I was talking, they actually had PPO, but I'm sure some of the HMOs probably have it too. So just FYI, ask your carrier if that is something that is an option for you, and if there are people in your network that you could go and do. Because I love a massage. We're very late for ours. We have to get back on our mental health massages too.
We do.
But it is important. It is. I agree, Chris. There are so many different things that people can try, but definitely find out what your insurance will cover.
And let's say there is someone eventually you do suggest medicine, neuromedication. What have you seen as far as staying on medication versus coming off? What do you recommend? What have you seen in your practice?
I don't ever recommend coming off by yourself. Let me start there. I think, I'm doing well. Let me go ahead and just stop. No, please don't stop a psychotropic medication ever in life. This is always a case by case situation. I do believe, it sounds crazy, even though we do low doses, sometimes I think we should at least up it one time to let's see what the brain needs. And if we don't, we come back down. Depends on the medication. We're looking at it taking effect in 3 weeks. So you need to be on it 3 to 6 months minimal to like really put in the medication, like having a steady state in addition to our coping skills, kind of all of it, and then it being normal in your life. So it's one thing we add to coping skills. You're like, okay, great, I got medicine, coping skills, come on. Nope. That's not how it works. It is more, we have it. Now we need to watch it and observe it.
Mhm.
And then I think where people go wrong is it's all great and you often think you want to come off because things are going well. I don't know how to say this, but I kind of want something to go bad. I need to see how do you handle coping? Does the medication work the, when the crap hit the fan again? when when it's like, uh-oh, why is everything hitting me at one time? What day is it today? Why is Monday? And that is
Mhm.
when we really know if the medication is working, if you're working, all of the pieces together are kind of making sense. And then we begin to go, okay, do we come down? Do we come off? How do we come off? You go down to a half a pill, no pill, with the doctor knowing that we're going down to a half a pill and no pill. It's all together, but it's really a case by case. I have some clients who have come off and put themselves back on and went, you know something, I don't like, I'm a little extra emotional and I'm doing a little too much work to kind of keep myself okay. Um, and they okay with it. I've had clients who was completely resistant and got on it and was like, nope, I'd rather come to therapy 2 days a week than it's still like a mental than know I'm taking something. And that's okay too. I guess we coming in 2 days a week. We're gonna do a little extra work, but it's really case by case.
And what would you say to patients? I've had patients say they don't want the prescription for the medication. They don't want it in their name because they
Yeah.
don't want it on their chart, because they don't want, if they're looking for a job, they don't want the stigma of that. What would you say to those patients?
Yeah, I mean, there is a reality, and I don't run from that reality. If we use insurance, we diagnose. I think
Mhm.
it's a thing we cannot get around, and I cannot wait to the day that I'm happy to hear massage. I'm looking for the day I don't have to diagnose. Um, and you just overall believe in wellness, not because again something is wrong. Um, so it is a part of it. There is this idea that there are pieces that follow, and but how about we focus in this moment on getting you well? Your job will be your job if it's supposed to be your job. Everything that's meant to be is going to be okay, but we got to do this work, and let's not make these barriers have value. Um, but we have that conversation all the time because we do have to diagnose to use insurance. I think that's the part people like, oh, I got insurance. I'm like, okay, let's talk about what that means. I'm happy
Mhm.
you have insurance,
Mhm.
but then there's this part right here. Yeah.
One of the things that I have seen with some of my patients is that they will go on it and they may start having some side effects, but they never tell anybody
Mhm.
that they're having those side effects. And that's one of the reasons why they don't want to take it anymore. But they've
Yep.
never said to their psychologist or
Mhm.
psychiatrist that they're even having
Mhm.
those effects. Um, what do you like? How do you get? Because they'll come and tell me,
Right.
but they haven't told the person who's actually prescribed the medication. How do you get around or how do you improve just the compliance with some of the side effects that some people may experience?
I so it's so this is where I kind of have to say there is a difference between me, psychology side, and the psychiatrist side. Um, I wish I wish they took a little more time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they would hit some of those things, but I think what happens is because there's not enough time on that side, they're left feeling like they're supposed to deal with it on their own. Like, oh, well, I'm just supposed to deal with these side effects. I don't make a phone call. I don't talk to nobody. I just tell my medical doctor who don't got nothing to do with nothing. And no, no, nothing like, wait, what happened, when, and wait, I don't, they're sitting there looking crazy. Um, I think I wish they took more time. On our side, this is where we ask. I check in around symptoms. All of my staff check in around medication and symptoms and where are we, how are we going. We do 1 month, 3 months, 6 month kind of
Mhm.
check-ins. And the space is in therapy often to discuss it. I think again, the dilemma sometimes is stigma and just being ashamed to say that they got that type of help, and they don't know what's wrong with their body or with the medicine they're taking or whatever.
Mhm.
And then two, recognizing that wellness is a total package with all people involved. So I want to know what's happening when I send all my female clients to OB-GYN. I send all of them possibly to see a pelvic floor specialist. I want to know everything. So I don't hold all the information. So if there's a psychiatrist, I'm talking to everybody at play, because we have to do this thing together. And the more that we show clients that wellness is a total package, I think the information doesn't get housed only in one spot. It begins to kind of circulate a little better. And it's getting a little better. Psychiatrists communicate a little more if there's a psychologist involved. It used to be like two different worlds, it seemed like, between us. But it is a shift. It's shifting. It has shifted in a lot of ways. There are more psychiatric nurses and psychiatrists even on staff at therapy practices, which is great because now we have a direct conversation that we can have more often. But it used to be these two different worlds, and I think people are the product of that. But as long as we keep saying, "What's your therapist say? What's your therapist say?"
Mhm.
Got to ask your therapist. Got to tell your therapist. I think they start going, "Oh, I better tell my therapist." She says she don't know. Because and it's funny because I get asked medical questions. I'd be like, you're who and you're what? Nope, that is so not I don't have a clue. I have no clue, but I have some doctors you can talk to because I'm you a doctor? No, my granny do it. Well, ain't you a doctor? No, ma'am. Listen.
But you can send them where they need to go.
I can send you somewhere because I'm gonna send you off. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna send you off real fast because I don't have no answers. So whatever you just talked about.
Okay, we have some questions from some of the viewers, okay?
Okay.
How does one recognize their own mental sickness?
Do you feel well? If you was to ask yourself, "Am I happy?" and you gave an answer, I want you to go down the rabbit hole of why. Why not? Why not again? Why not? And why? And you'll get to some direct things that need to be added or taken away when you take your own self down your own rabbit hole. You'll see it'll come up because I'm always sad, because I never go out, because I don't like people around me, because my family makes me sad, because I'm in a hard relationship, because just keep all the whys, as many as you got. When you stop, you'll have an answer. And all of those things you didn't say it, them are your recognitions that something isn't okay, and what you need to do to fix it.
And if you're not sure, just go and see someone. And they may be able
Absolutely,
to help you go down that rabbit hole with you
for
and
sure.
make it a little bit more comfortable and not
Yeah,
as scary.
for sure. We could all use support. I think I want to say that again. Like, it is nothing wrong. You can want to talk about, I think I want to make a career change. Let's talk about it. Let's look at, evaluate. Like, it doesn't have to be, again, like this calm
Mm-hmm.
all or nothing scenario where you get support. It's just okay to check in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, oh, this ache in my back, I'm gonna get a massage. Oh, I was having these thoughts. Let me go talk to somebody. Same thing. It's the same thing.
Okay.
What is driving the suicide rate among our young Black professionals?
Hmm. I think I'm gonna say this nicely. We don't stay in our lane all the time. I think there is this idea, entrepreneurship is in,
Definitely.
and it's doesn't mean it is for everybody. And I think there is so much pressure to like be this six-figure earner. If I hear six-figure earner one more time, I just like stop it. In the comparisons, the social media lifestyles, they are like, it is not real. It is not possible. All these people make all this money and living their best life. It's not true, but we do so much comparison, and then we're not doing enough, and then we not, starting our 5 businesses and bought 8 homes and flipped 5 properties. Like, and so clearly we're not good enough, and now we're depressed. And there is a lot of really good research coming out about the negative effects of social media on well-being. I really think we need to like shut down sometimes from some of it, so we can like hear ourselves and like really get back and tap with what's good for us. Where is our career? What do we like? What do we really want to do? Like, I might want to just be a painter on the island in Costa Rica and just walk along the beach and paint images, and that is okay. That's okay. That is a good thing to do if you're happy. I just think we got to really step back and look at what's really for us versus how we've compared ourselves to be good enough and to compete with all the fake 6-figure earners that are happy. It's rough out here.
I was riding in the car with my daughter one day. She's 17. So she said, we're going to be YouTubers, online business people. She was like, no one's going to be a plumber or an electrician and she's like, so who's going to do all that? And I thought, there's living a life through unreality, because it's not reality. And it's just, I don't know, it's a concern. I don't know how you cut back on the social media. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, everybody an influencer. Everybody. I don't know how everybody's an influencer.
And she truly believes everybody is making millions of dollars.
Everybody.
She does. Everybody. And so I was a little shocked. Like, do you not see me every day? Like, that's not what reality. You might have a couple of people who are able to do that, but that's not going to be everybody.
I think for the social media, it's very important as parents for us. We have to, like my daughter, she's 12. We just got her a phone only because she has a lot of school activities to keep in touch. Soon as she comes home, that phone goes right on my husband's nightstand. She can't take it to the restaurant or anything. It's just for school. We make sure we have family game night. We don't put. We try not to answer our phones. I'm a physician, so a lot of times I have to. But it's important for us to put that time in there and not just say, okay, get off your phone, because they're going to do lazy and we have to spend time with them. Otherwise, they're like, what else is there to do?
Yep. I agree. If we don't still do the basics, again, this is where we can't go shake it off when you die, but we can still.
And I was told that as well.
We're raised differently.
We can do some of the stuff though. We could keep some of that stuff. Some of those family, like we did that. We watched movies together and played games. Monopoly, boy, you played Monopoly for 1,900 hours.
Right.
That Monopoly game was forever. I don't know how you can look at a phone if you're playing Monopoly. Monopoly is it. Like once you start Monopoly in the family, like that's it. That's the whole thing.
That's 2 days. You leave it right on the table.
You just leave it. That's it. You just done. So when was you on your phone? You playing Monopoly. So and that had 1,500 Monopoly versions. You can Chicago Monopoly. You can Island Monopoly. They got all the versions. So it's ways to still bring back in connection and family and like some of those things, and then go So what regular you want to be like? Because what's good for you? Like, what do you really, not what's on TV. Like, what do you really, really, really want to do? Like, because we can't all influence. Who is being influenced?
Right.
If we all. I don't know. It's just rough. It's social media right now. It's
rough.
delusional.
Yes.
It is creating delusions.
But not just for kids.
Oh, it's for the adults for sure. And these relationships, because in my office, like, I was looking at my friend and some of her stories, and her guy, I'm like, uh-oh.
We have another question. I remember long talks on the porch during the summer with my godmother. She answered a lot of questions that I had, questions I didn't want to ask my mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we still do that. So when my daughters, I gave them a person, like, even if you don't tell me, is there a person I trust?
Right.
That you go to them. If you think you're scared of me, that's fine. Go to them and y'all deal with it. No questions asked. We did that. We had those talks all the time. That was so easy to sit outside and talk. And we just, again, we can bring back some stuff, which would probably make us feel better, to be honest.
Do you really think St. John's work?
For some, yes. The numbers are 50-50 overall in terms of the research there is literally 50-50. I'll take my 50% because at first we was at 0. You came in not feeling good. I came in and gave something that had a 50% chance of doing better. I'm going to add it to the list. Yep.
I like the concept of a therapist being called a support person.
We got support animals.
Yes.
I don't believe half of these support animals. They gonna make dolphin support animals in a minute. I think everything. They are support animaling me to death. I'm like, I know this ain't your support animal. Like, this whole series, I don't.
They just want to take them.
They just want to just say that. Just say that. Just say that. I don't want to sign this paper. This is dumb. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of that?
Support. Oh, I get a lot of, to me, fake support animals. I do, because they want to take them on the plane. They want to take them in the store. They want to take them in a restaurant. They want to take their pet snake everywhere. Yeah, I get. And then there's something that's real. Like, I do. Animals are healing. I wholeheartedly do not. I wanted us to have a support animal, but I realized I know I am not an animal person as much as I would like to be. I don't have the time to, like, I'll get up and leave and forget to feed it or something. And I just. Animals and plants. Yeah, I just decided, we not, because I wanted us to have like an animal at the office, like was a permanent, like for everybody. Whoever wanted to have a little animal, rub on it during session, it just like roamed around. But when I realized I got to feed and then take it home at night, and then I got to go out in the morning when I might have like went out the night before and was tired, I'm like.
Or you got to make arrangements when you go.
Yeah, I'm like, never mind. Yeah, I'm like, never mind.
They're like kids.
Yeah, and I quit that whole thing. So I was like,
I understand.
Yeah, it's like, never mind. It's not a good idea no more. But I believe in support animals. I really do. I just, not for me. Yes.
Have you heard, what are your thoughts on IV ketamine?
So I understand they give like mood, sleep, even in like digestion, like everything. Like I've heard some really good stuff. Flying, sorry. But yeah, I think sleep is important. So if we can regulate sleep, and I question about how many vitamins are you taking and what vitamins. And I think I had said to you one day, like, I hate taking all these pills. Like, I am too young, and now they want you, it's like 3-horse pills for this, 2-horse, like it's too much. And you got sea moss, and they want you to do a probiotic, and then you got the multivitamin, and then you got it's just, I can't. I had my turmeric, and then I was doing, like, I had vitamin E and vitamin D, and it was just, I'm like, I quit. There's too many vitamins. But at one time, I think I was depressing myself trying to take vitamins and be healthy. So I absolutely believe if there is a way that I could do an IV and get it that way, and at the same time be healthy, regulate my mood, my sleep, my appetite, create some normalcy, like, sign me for it. Yes, and thank you. Yes, I'm there. Yeah.
Oh, Pamela agrees with you about the dogs being too much responsibility. So.
They are, but I love them. I'll pet them. I feed them. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to raise them.
Hi, Diana.
Yeah. You guys do you do IV infusions,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, we do IV infusions depending on whatever the concern that you have. And we have different minerals and vitamins and supplements that we will add to it based upon what your concern is. But we're also going to start to do IV ketamine. So the ketamine is something that they actually do, they give an anesthesia. This is something that has to be monitored. So you actually have to have either a nurse anesthetist or someone there that will monitor that patient, because those infusions can take about 4 to 6 hours. But it's for PTSD, it's for resistant depression. So they've been on different medication, it's not helping. And you do about 4 or 6 treatments, and then you may have to do a maintenance maybe once or twice a year. But they've actually been doing more studies and actually showing significant improvement with doing the IV ketamine. It just has to be in a place where they are able to monitor you.
Okay. I still say sign me up.
There's always different things that are coming out, but you know, you want to make sure that it's something that, because it's not for everybody. People who have certain substance abuse, that's not for you. So it's just different things that would be different for different people, but definitely it's another option.
Yeah, I agree. We recently added CBD to the practice to treat like sexual wellness and anxiety. And some people were like, no, it's a drug. I'm like, it's no drug, but okay. And again, if I'm all for having all the options to wellness. If there is an option that exists to create a sense of wholeness in self, I want it to be on the table. So I'm happy to hear about all possible options that exist.
How do you prescribe the CBD for the sexual wellness?
We sell it.
Well, how do you recommend to take it?
So ours is an oil, basically. So ours is not an ingest. Ours is oil. It's just an oil. So you can use a very itty bitty bit. You can use it a couple times a day. But the research there is, to me, it's kind of like St. John's. It's kind of there's this idea, it works for many, and there's some who say don't do anything. And I'm like, okay. It's a little bit of everything go a long way to me. So
I was at a conference a little while ago, and it was about CBD. But one of the things that is on the horizon as far as coming out is there are some genetic components, because there's a lot of different CBD. I can't keep looking. There's a lot of different CBD options. And what they're finding is that there's certain CBD chemicals or types that work better for certain things.
For
And
certain
just like
genetic composition. Yeah.
me, 20, what is it, 21 and Me? They're actually coming out with something similar to that for CBD. It's not a huge market yet, but that's something that they're actually coming out with.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, it reminds me like people who say like the blood type diet works for them. And some people like, what? That's dumb. I'm like, listen, if you are trying something that helps you feel better or get control of your mind and your body, I don't got nothing to say unless it's like heroin related. I might have some, we might talk a little bit more then, but other than that, like, I am a fan. I am a fan of wellness. And so acupuncture, you got something happening?
Yeah.
Yes, go for it. And now you're talking like massage covered by insurance. I'm going to tell every single one of my clients and my staff, make sure you asking them.
Tell them to
call
ask
their insurance and see what's covered.
Sure you tell them to call the insurance and not just walk in and say, I was told this is covered.
They'll do it.
Not covered here,
that will happen. And they gonna say, Chris said. Chris gonna say that. That's not what I said. I didn't say that at all. You are lying.
You're coming to Dr. Tony's spa tomorrow.
Right.
You gotta check your insurance first.
You said you did massage here. That's not how that is not
Do we have any more questions for Chris? Pam says that this has been informative. She wants to thank you so much and God bless.
Oh, same to you. Thank you.
Glenda says very good session and thank you.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's important. We wanted to make sure that we talk about everything else. The mind controls a lot of your bodily functions.
Yeah.
So if you don't have your mind where it needs to be, it's going to affect you physically. So we definitely have to make sure we are taking care of the mental aspect as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm grateful for you guys for knowing that.
Yeah. Chris, do you have anything coming up?
Important would be our God Therapy Pledge. It is directly about what we're talking about. You can literally go on change.org and do hashtag God Therapy, and it will come up. It is about wellness. It is about prioritizing mental health, saying that it's okay to have a support person, saying that I want to be well. So that is one of our biggest things that I want people to take a pledge and say, like, yes, I will prioritize this in my life. So that's probably the biggest thing that I really, really care about. We have our NEC for Moms coming up. It's where we have a bunch of different moms groups, from fertility to support to we have a spirituality and like depression group for women. Just 1 million ways in which we're trying to right now support entrepreneur moms and all of these different ways in which we're trying to kind of like put like some barriers and some love around women. And since I only hire Black women, it only made sense. I then reached out to the bigger population of women. So here we are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dr. White, do you have anything going on?
I do. Do I have a flyer? Geneva? Is it Geneva? Genevieve, sorry, said, I'm glad I was able to join in. This was very interesting. Gartha, all my answers were positive.
He's in California living his best life.
So it's easy to be positive.
He's with the sun.
Oh, you with the sun, the water, the man. You got Fat Burger too. I miss Fat Burger.
I'm ready. Okay, so again, I will be doing Botox and Bubbly. I didn't tell you because I know you don't have time. We are going to do it again, Girls Night Out. It's Saturday, March 12th, 6 to 9. I did it with another physician before. We're doing it again. Instead of my place, we're going to do it at her place. Her office, the address is
621
Thank you,
North
Tim.
Elston Avenue in Chicago. She knows we can't see.
It's 6121
Oh.
North Elston Avenue in Chicago. And the practice name is Women First Specialist. So come out. We're going to have special pricing just for that night. Lots of fun, door prizes, game, and a little alcohol. Just a little.
It's important. A little is important. I do believe alcohol is part of wellness. Yes, wine is a part of wellness.
And now I have her to sign off on it. So. I'm going to say Chris said.
And just for us, it's been we're gonna probably, well, we are. We're gonna do our grand opening for the new building on April 30th.
Yay! Nice.
So it is almost here.
It's right around the corner.
It's right around the corner. We are almost there, but we have, and one of the reasons, we had Chris on and all the other things is that we are promoting your full wellness. That is every part of you, not just one aspect. We want you to be able to take care of your full and total body wellness, health, and like Chris says, just being happy.
Mhm.
We've gotten away from that, and we have to kind of find some little thing in our lives that keeps us happy. We used to do massages every month. We haven't. Oh my God! Don't talk about it. We haven't done it in a while, but we will have all of those things that could possibly make you happy, and keep your total body wellness. So it's coming. we'll keep you informed on that. But just updates. I'm sure we've been posting some pictures of the transition of how it's going, but we're almost at the end.
It's going to be better. I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us again. These topics are getting good. With Let's Talk About Your Health. We appreciate you joining us and following us. If you have more questions, just send those over. We'll try to get your answers to those. But we appreciate you continuing to follow us and give us your questions.
And to support us. And we will see you next month.
Yes, next month on the first Friday. Oh,
we're not sure what time.
Okay. We will let you know what time. It might be a later time, but we will let you know that within the next week or two. We'll be promoting it, so you'll know. Okay. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye.